Dozens of cities claim to be the location of our country's first Memorial Day commemoration back in May of 1868, but historians say that honor belongs to someone else. And a day that history has forgotten until recently. Jalen Henderson explains how once enslaved people started America's first Memorial Day.
This looks like a regular park, right? Kids playing, ducks swimming, and there's that fountain that always seems to be running no matter the time of year. So what if I told you that this place, Hampton Park, was once a cemetery? But not just any cemetery. One dedicated to more than 250 Civil War soldiers, which also just so happens to be home of the first ever Memorial Day ceremony.
They had a small children's choir sing, preachers preached. So it was their way of dedicating not only the graves of the dead, but it was also their way of declaring the meaning of the Civil War and declaring, a federal union victory.
That's right. But back then, it was called Decoration Day. And over time, that name changed to Dedication Day. It wasn't until the 1960s when Memorial Day became the official name. But whatever you call it, it all started right here in Charleston, South Carolina. Back in 1865, photography was barely a thing. And obviously, there was no such thing as video. So here's what we think happened. Leading up to May 1st, dozens of Black Charlestonians exhumed a mass grave of more than 250 men. They then dug individual graves into rows, building a 10-foot-tall white fence around them, with an archway overhead spelling out Martyrs of the Racecourse. And on the actual Decoration Day, it's estimated that 10,000 mostly formerly enslaved Black people commemorated those lives with a parade. They sang hymns, decorated graves, had picnics, and watched Union troops perform marches and drills. It all sounds familiar, right? So why haven't we heard about it before?
Well, I think it's a classic case of how memory works. This was not a story white Charlestonians wanted to remember. This is the way dominant and less dominant stories get remembered or commemorated. Simply depends on who's in control of the narrative.